Okay, good morning again. We're looking this time at a summary of integers, just our last sort of sum up for integers. We'll be starting algebra very soon. But anyway, we want to wrap this up. So just a brief review of the four different operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. With addition and subtraction, I recommend that you just sketch a quick number line. And even if you don't actually draw on the number line, it just lets you visualize what's happening with the question. So here you're going negative 51. And then the 34 you're adding doesn't quite get you to the number line, or to the 0 on the number line. So that leaves you with a negative result. And because the arrows are going in opposite directions, you're going to end up subtracting those two values, right? So 51 minus 34 is 6 plus 11, so 17. Okay. And then for this one here, we're subtracting a negative. You'll remember that subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding a positive, right? Subtracting debt, taking away debt is the same way as giving money, right? So those are identical ideas. So we will be, I will be changing a double negative to a double positive. That's the way I say it quickly. We're adding those two numbers now. We could certainly sketch a number line, but I think it's pretty clear what we're doing here. We're going positive both times. So 34 plus 51, 35. So that's 85. Okay. So there you go. And then multiplying and dividing. You'll remember if you're multiplying more than two numbers like this, the first thing to do was to be thinking about how many negatives there were. So in this case, there are two negative numbers. That's an even number of numbers. And if there's an even number of numbers, that meant that it's a positive result, right? If you have an odd number of numbers, an odd number of negatives, like 3 negatives, 5 negatives, 1 negative, that would be odd. So then you'd have a negative result, okay? So this guy's going to be a positive result. And then all we have to do is multiply those numbers together. So 13 times 4 is 52. And 52 times 2 is 104. So 104 would be the answer there. A negative divided by a negative. You may remember that table we looked at during the division one there, right? A negative divided by a negative, or a positive divided by a positive yields a positive result. You can think of it as those negatives canceling each other out. And 66 divided by 6 is 11. I love the 11's times tables. They're so pretty and easy to remember. So the next two are kind of new. This is based on order of operations. So I'm going to briefly mention that over here. The order of operations. Ooh, that's the acronym for order of operations. So the order of operations you may remember as BEDMAS. So just a moment, please. Welcome back. So poof, order of operations, right? Are, as I said, BEDMAS, and BEDMAS stands for, first you want to do the brackets in a question, and then exponents, division, and then multiplication, addition, and then subtraction. That's the order of operations, BEDMAS, okay? So for us, we actually won't be using exponents in any of our questions. So in general, obviously, you do brackets first, and then you would do exponents next, for sure, but we're not going to have any of those. So the division and multiplication, it turns out it doesn't really matter which you do first, division or multiplication, but you want to do the division and multiplication next, and then you're looking to do the addition and subtraction. And again, it doesn't really matter what order you do addition or subtraction, as long as you do that after the division and multiplication and so forth, okay? So we're going to try these questions here, just two of them. But the first one here is a combination of, what's this? Well, that's division and then addition and subtraction. So we want to do that division part first, and then we'll deal with the addition and subtraction. So a negative divided by a positive we know of as a negative, right? 64 divided by 8 is 8. subtracting, right? A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Adding. Negative divided by negative is a positive, and 42 divided by 6 is 7. So here you go. We wanted to combine these three numbers together there with addition and subtraction now. Again, subtracting a negative, same as adding a positive, right? So really we have a negative, add 4, add 7. You could do it on a number line if you'd like, right? Negative 8. Then you're going up by 4, which brings you to negative 4. And from there, you're adding a 7. So it doesn't matter how you do it. In the end, as long as you get the right answer. In fact, a calculator can help you through these questions. I'm just teaching you how to understand the questions, right? So you end up with a positive 3 for this question. Okay? Can you see that? A positive 3. Yeah, there it is. And then this next one here, you're going to be doing the brackets next. And then after that, we'll do the rest of the question. Okay? So the brackets here, you have a negative 8. This is almost the same. I don't know why, but it is, right? Negative 8 plus 4, and then subtract a negative 6, right? Subtracting a negative 6, this is still a double negative, making it a double positive. And so negative 8 takes you backwards. And then a positive 4 brings you to negative 4 again, and then a positive 6. So actually that ended up bringing us to positive 2. Right? A positive 2 divided by negative 2 times negative 5. Okay. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So negative 1 times negative 5 ends up being positive 5, right? So that ends up being our final answer there. So the point is with these questions, you just want to be careful to do the order of operations. So brackets first, and then any division or multiplication you need. There's more than one way to skin a cat, but as long as you're following the order of operations. So I think that's all for this video. The next video we do will all be about algebra. Yeah, but we'll start at the very beginning, so you'll be just fine. Take care. Bye for now.